Well, this week we're back in PA, chasing deer after Austin and I's week-long hiatus up north in the duck blinds of North Dakota. We had a lot of fun up there shooting everything that flew, but it's time to settle back in here at home and get serious about deer season once again. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Absolutely nothing beats managing and hunting your own property and then having the opportunity to harvest these mature bucks. It's time to hit the woods. God, what a feeling to finally put this deer down. Each year, our deer episodes here in PA seem to be all about Austin, and it's for good reason. The kid has had a great string of luck these last few years, including this season where he shot an awesome buck that was charging into his decoy.
Give me some of that, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
But this episode is all me, and it's about time. It's now my turn to hit the woods and chase after some of my target deer I've been watching all summer long. Now, for us, each deer season starts when the previous one ends, meaning our off season is full of building habitat, food plots, and making our land the best it can be. From doing so, our property is home to a great population of deer, including 2 big PA bucks I have named Mule and One Brow. Before we left for North Dakota on our waterfowl and migratory bird hunt, I had 1 week to hunt these bucks, and I knew right where I wanted to be. Well, the night we got here, there was a few does here. We went ahead and scared them out and got set up. It's really early. It's only about 1:15 yet. But this spot is one of my favorite spots on the farm for more than one reason. It's the first food plot we put in here on the farm over 20 years ago. This is just a little clearing in the woods where they have a shallow gas well where natural gas is mined out of it. And we came in and pushed some trees away and put a food plot in here, and it's been a hot spot ever since. The buck that we've seen in here recently on camera is definitely one of our hit listers. He hasn't been in here very long, just the last couple days, so we're hoping he gives us a return visit here tonight, and we get an early season buck down. Good buck right here, walking in the woods behind us. See, we've got chasing deer over there. I'm thinking maybe he might make another appearance in this field later tonight. Another big buck coming from the other side of the field. I've never seen that buck before. I can't decide if he's 3 or 4. If he comes into 30, we'll take him.
live.
To catch all the crazy behind-the-scenes action from the Bearded Buck, like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram.
Well, you saw it. My only good encounters with mature deer happened on just the second sit of the season. And after that, I didn't have the chance to get back in the stand until late October. But when I did, I had to go right back to the small gas well plot. Well, it's October 28th. Coming up on my favorite time of the year to be hunting whitetails here in Pennsylvania. That's Halloween. I've always had a lot of luck from Halloween on, and you know, it's usually that time of the year we're looking to see when are those deer going to first start in their rut. When are we going to see that rut activity? Well, there's no question this year it's on, and we're switching from hunting where we know the bucks are to hunting to where we know the does are, because the bucks are going to be coming to where the does are. So sit back and enjoy the best part of the year here in Pennsylvania coming up. Hopefully tonight is the best night of the season. It's that same buck from before. I didn't hear him walk off. He looked good. Yeah. This was our second encounter with the buck we named 911. Like I said, this was a bonus buck for us, and when he showed up in the food plot at last light, after all of the rut activity we saw, it got me fired up for the next few sits. Well, it's Halloween. We made a switch tonight. We left that small interior food plot that we'd been hunting for the last couple of weeks. We took a risk and we moved way out to the edge of the timber on some fields that aren't too far from the camp. I can actually see the camp from here, so we've been having a buck we call double bump brows come out through here. He's just got bumps all over both his brows. Early in the season he was here, and he was here recently on the camera a few times, so we haven't sat here at all. This is the first time in the stand ever, so interesting to see what happens tonight. Hope we don't get more tricks than treats here on Halloween, but we're out here giving this new spot a try, and it might just be what gets it done for us. I think it's that wide one. Dang, I don't know what buck he is. Finally heating up a little bit here on a very cold, windy night. That past us here, had him about 35 yards. I thought he was a different buck when I first saw him. He got in here. Looks like a really good 3-year-old, but just not one of those 2 or 3 bucks in here that we're really looking to shoot. So let's hope the older guys come and do the same thing for us.
Now, November is usually the best time of the year to be in the woods here in PA. But for me, it was the slowest part of my season. The temps were high, the deer movement was slow, and just like that, my archery season was over. Next up was rifle season. So after a few weeks off, it was time to head back to the woods, chasing after my target bucks. Only this time as a member of the Orange Army.
Well, we're all set up here the first day of the Pennsylvania gun season, and we're hunting just probably about 300 yards away from where we hunted all bow season, trying to catch up to 2 or 3 shooters we had in here. We just couldn't get the deal done in archery season, so we came out, we set up a few different stands, and we picked this one this morning. It's about 41 degrees, we got winds out of the west. These deer typically want to come across this area and get into this bedding behind us, so we had a few does blow through here in typical Pennsylvania Orange Army fashion. We've had shots going off well before daylight here in Pennsylvania. The mountains are ringing with shots. This year it's doe season and buck season at the same time, so there's a lot of that if it's brown, it's down going on, and there's a deer right there. We got a deer right here working through, so it's early yet. We're in for the long haul next couple days here, trying to shoot one of those bucks we've been after. Well, our morning worked out about just like we had planned. We're on the south side of the farm trying to catch these deer coming off the green fields that we have, and it worked really good. The deer movement came through about where we thought it was. We saw about 4 bucks and half a dozen does or so, just not the buck we were looking for. And our plan when we set out this morning was to only sit here till about midday, then we're gonna get out, move to that north side of the property and sit on a big clover field. Our rut's just starting to fall off a little bit here, so we're thinking these deer are gonna wanna head to the feed tonight, and that's where we're gonna be. Well, we followed through with the plan that we set yesterday, hunt the first half of the day back in the timber on the south side of the farm. We just got settled in an elevated blind on the north side where the deer are usually coming out into the feed plots here, because the rut is winding down like we said, and I think we took the gamble that the deer are going to start hitting the feed again because they've been off it for several weeks now during the rut. We just got in the blind, not even quite set up yet, and one of our shooter bucks, the first time we saw him on the hoof all year, stepped out in the back of this food plot. He's 336 yards out there right now. We're just going to enjoy this for a little bit and hopefully give him a chance to pull another 100 yards or so in on us, but right now it's working. Oh, he's beautiful. There he is again. He has no clue we're here, and he's out at 1:30 in the afternoon, so things work out for us. We have plenty of time to let him close the distance a little bit, give us a little bit easier shot. Just don't know a deer like that. How long will they feed out here like that all night? Or will they just go back and lay down? Boy, I can make it, but I don't want to risk it. Man, I sure feel steady enough, but we have nothing but time on our side here to let him get closer. Well, that buck just at least temporarily walked out of our lives at the end of this field. We watched him for, 45 minutes here. Just feeding back there, so content. But he's back there where the food plot's narrowed down. He has lots of escape cover, lots of bedding cover close by, so it's only 2:15. Lots of time for him to come back out. Maybe this time he comes back out somewhere closer up along here where we can get a good confident shot. There's a big body deer down here. All those does on the left and this one on the right looks like a big body deer. I'm gonna sneak the gun out the window if I can. Get a look at it. Yeah, it's definitely mule. He's right in his tree line. He's in the edge of the tree line here. I'm gonna let him get one more step. You on him. You stay on him because he puts that front leg up. I'm gonna take him. Yeah. Ready? Yeah. We piled him up, man. Oh my gosh, I'm shaking. All I had was a single dog stick that made all the difference in the world. I just wasn't steady enough on him. I got a good stick on him. We got Mule. Mule's dead. What's up? Well, buddy, I just shot Mule.
Mule's down.
Mule's down.
Dead. He's dead.
He's stone dead, buddy. What a long season, a long 2-year dry spell here in PA. We had him at 336 yards out here in front of us for probably 40 minutes before then he left. And I said he's either out of our life for good or he's out of our life for a few hours or for a few days. But he left and we're watching a bunch of other deer. And I happened to look down there and I said, is that a big buck? And we looked and he said, it looks like it has a big body. I opened the window and put the gun out, put the scope on him. I said, well, that's Mule.
I knew he'd show up before I left there. I just had a feeling.
Oh, man. All right, buddy. Well, we're going to do our stuff here.
All right, send me a quick film pic whenever you go down there.
All right, see ya.
All right, see ya.
Let's get out there. Get our hands on this deer and see what it looks like close up. There's nothing like walking up on a buck you're able to harvest on your own farm. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. I mean, this guy, we've been chasing him for 2 years. We called him the mule buck. He looked like a mule deer from straight on from us. And in velvet, he was quite the specimen to be watching. I scouted this deer in the same field we saw him in here all summer long. I sat out there a couple different nights, filmed him in velvet, him with another wide buck that was out with him. We had a few target bucks, and this guy was the one we were trying to get after along with that wide buck that was up here. We had a plan to kill this deer today. We hunted the south side of the farm like you saw this morning, and we were trying to catch him going back to bed. He never showed up. We had some other bucks come through, some does. And we said, listen, we're gonna get out of this stand. We know it's a good spot. We're gonna come up here and adjust and get on the green field for tonight. It was the right move because this guy was in this field at 1:30 this afternoon. God, what a feeling to finally put this deer down.
I can't say it enough. Building habitat and providing nutrition for the wildlife on our land and then getting the opportunity to harvest these animals is what I live for. No other out-of-state hunt could ever compare to hunting with friends and family right here in PA. Austin and I put so much time and effort into our properties, trying to make them the best they can be. And this stuff right here makes it all worth it.
Before we finish up, so we'll come right back to you if he comes in. If Judy will shut up for 30 seconds. Judy's a loudmouth, by the way. That's my belly. Judy's my belly, and she talks to us during our hunts. Another Judy's coming out of my belly, rumbling, tumbling. Will you shut the